When we're looking for God's guidance and direction, how easy is it to find? Easy or difficult? I can often experience it as being difficult, as being mysterious, but wanting God's direction, wanting God's guidance, but where, how do I access it? How do I get it? How does it work? Well, I will say this. God's guidance, God is guiding us every moment. There is wisdom, there is guidance from God every moment. But it's still, it's quiet, it's deeper. You remember that story, beautiful story in 1 Kings about Elijah? Elijah is in the cave. He's in the depths of the cave and looking for God's guidance, God's presence. And he hears the wind, the strong, mighty wind come, and God's not in the wind. All of a sudden there's an earthquake. And he thinks God might be in the earthquake. Well, God's not in the earthquake. And then there's fire. And God's not in the fire, so to speak. And he goes back into the cave and he hears a still, small voice. And there is God. And there he experiences God's presence. An insight that came to me that's working for me today is I was thinking about the difference between divine mind and personal mind. God's mind and my mind. The mind of Christ or the mind of Bill? And God's guidance is always there, but my mind gets in the way of discerning it, of hearing it, of sensing it, of knowing it. So it's like this. It's like there's this beautiful violin music that's playing. Beautiful. And that's like the mind of Christ, divine mind, God's mind, always there, guiding, directing, But it's like there's a marching band in my head playing that drowns out the song of God that's there for all eternity, always guiding, always leading. I did an experiment. You can try it yourself. I went on YouTube and I found heavenly violin music and I played that. And then I opened up another tab and I put in Fleetwood Mac, The Dance, Tusk, where they have the marching band come out at the end of the song. And I played both songs at the same time. And to me, this is just an illustration of how there's always that heavenly music playing, this guiding, leading, directing. But my mind is like a marching band. And so how do we apply this? Well, in just becoming aware that my mind is a marching band, noticing that, and letting that be, it begins to die down and it begins to settle. And then in that moment, there's God's wisdom. God's wisdom arises, and often it arises in a small or big insight or in a beautiful feeling. So God is leading, guiding every moment. If we can let our marching band settle and become aware of that beautiful music of God's direction, leading and guiding, playing all the time. How to do that? Let the mind settle. And there it arises. So take what's helpful and leave the rest. Until next time, may you live all the days of your life.